Hello and welcome to another edition of True Audiophiles. My name's Jim Carter. So today we're going to talk about the albums that really made me love music, really get into music, inspired me to have a love for music. They're not necessarily my favorite albums of all times. They're not necessarily even what I would consider the best albums from the artists themselves. It just happens to be the first albums that I remember listening to as a kid that really got me into music. So, first one I'm going to go over is Kiss Alive. So this one, I don't know if it's really the first Kiss album I ever got. The first Kiss album I ever got, I think, was actually from my brother, which was Love Gun. But I don't think this one came all that long after it. And it was one that really stuck in my head as being, my favorite Kiss album early on, and really got me into going into their back catalog of the albums that came before this, and then really propelled me into really being a big Kiss fan throughout my life. So, but this one, when I was a kid, not this exact one because this is a reissue, but this album is really one that got worn out on my old cheap toy record player, or lack for a better word, toy record player, one of those little cheap kid record players that you get when you're a little kid. So, next one up is Van Halen 2. Kind of a similar situation. I don't remember how I got at this initially, but and I don't know why I got this one instead of the first Van Halen first, but this is the first album that got me into Van Halen, and just used to listen to it again a lot. And great album, not as good as the first one in my opinion, but still an unbelievable album. One that I could probably sing all the lyrics to over and over again, and definitely one of my first early albums that I got as a child. So, another one that I came close to wearing out. This next one is a pretty interesting one because when I was kind of searching through my record collection, I was trying to find a copy of it, and I was having a little bit of a hard time, but I stumbled across it and realized I think this is actually the original album that I had when I was a kid. But this is Journey, Evolution. Again, I don't know if it's necessarily their best. Matter of fact, I don't honestly feel it's their best, but it's still a great album. Another album that I can probably sing all the lyrics to, all of the songs. But, the one that, the two that actually stick out to me the most are Lovin', Touchin', Squeezin' and City of the Angels, because they kind of roll right into one another. And it's just something that is a good memory from my childhood of going over these songs over and over again and listening to them on my little kid record player. So this next one is possibly my first ever rock record I got, because I had kids music, like Disney records, Sesame Street records, things like that, but I think this one may have been my first actual rock record, and that's Sgt. Pepper's. I'm guessing it was given to me by my brother. I have vague recollection of buying it in a store, but I don't remember the details about it. But definitely one that I listened to over and over and over again. And like I said, I believe this was my first rock record that I ever owned before getting a Kiss or Journey or Van Halen. Just an amazing album. Still love this album to date. Still one of those ones. Also, love this one. This is actually the remix that was done a few years ago by Giles Martin. One of the few people that I think that really love the remixes, especially probably one of the few that really love the remixes when they are used to the original stereo mixes that came out and were the first versions of the album that I had ever heard. So, but absolutely love the album. Love the design of the album cover, the whole story behind that, and just an unbelievable album. Love the locking dead wax at the end of A Day in the Life. It's just unbelievably cool, and great pickup, but great album to get me started into rock music for sure. This one probably came a little bit later, but I grew to appreciate it a lot more. I can't say I love absolutely every song on the album, but it's the Beatles' White Album. And, you know, again, it just started my whole love affair for the Beatles, and, well, continued that love affair for the Beatles, and just an amazing, amazing album that just I can still listen to today and just love it. And you know, this is the Mo-Fi pressing, another one where I thought the new remixes that were done by Giles Martin were really, really good. I love them. Not a whole lot of people do, but definitely in the minority, I think, of my friends who are into music like I am. But you know, I think the only song I really don't like, and it's probably one of my least favorite Beatles songs, is the song "Good Night." It's on here, but overall, just a phenomenal album. And what I really think I love so much about this album is all the different genres of music, if you will. They just go through all these different styles of music throughout the whole album, and it's just, you know, from experimental with Revolution Number 9, and you know, Rocky Raccoon is kind of a goofy, you know, kind of piano playing song, and Helter Skelter is kind of an early prototype hard rock heavy metal song, and just all the different variations of different types of music. I think that's this may have been what got me into exploring all the other different types of music that I like. So because I like so many other different types of music that are out there, and you know, it might be partially because of this album. So all right, well, those are my top 5 that kind of were early inspiration to me to love music. I would love to hear what your top 5 were, or your first 5, if you will. Ones that really inspired you to love music and get obsessed with music, if you are obsessed like I am. You know, I probably will do a few more of these down the road with the different genres of music, like with, you know, hard rock and heavy metal and jazz, maybe classical, things on that nature. But I'd love to hear your take on what your inspirational albums are. I'd love to hear if you'd be interested in knowing what my top 5 inspirational albums for jazz, classical, and all those others are. If you like what you see here, please subscribe to my channel. Also hit that alert button if you want to know when my new videos come out. Like this video if you liked this video, and I would love, again, if you made some comments below and hear your feedback on what you think. Thank you very much, and have a great day.